finished studying in 2002, which is terrifying because that's kind of 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, there was no social media, there was dial-up internet, and you know how the internet kind of influences creative people, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, starting off, there was basically, there was none of that. So it was basically pen and paper. I know it sounds really old school, but it was pen and paper, kind of every idea was always written down.
Yeah.
And I actually still do that, like that's always my first step. Like I carry this little notepad everywhere and write down ideas, but it's kind of, I do lend more on the internet now. Like it's such an amazing resource, you can find anything you want, basically. So it's kind of, I always start with pen and paper, but now more and more I'm sort of lending on the internet as well, or if I need to look something up, it's kind of that blessing and a curse. You can find anything, but it might make you a lazy thinker as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think, probably as a style, I don't think my style's changed. I've sort of always been really interested in visual ideas, probably more of a visual thinker. It's just adapting that, particularly in advertising for brands. Like we work on one day I might be working on a luxury car brief, I might be working on a makeup brief, I might be working on a superannuation brief. So it's kind of having my style and adapting it to those brands as well. Probably film and film clips inspires me a lot. Things like galleries, we've got the NGV just down the road. Sometimes at lunch I'll actually just go for a walk through the gallery. And because we work in advertising, it's probably real life as well. So actually listening or observing people, or just, I had a daughter a few years ago, and that's kind of changed and inspired the way I think a little bit, just seeing how, I guess, a small human thinks, that they don't hold back at all, just seeing the way they draw and the way their minds work. It's amazing. Yeah, for me, super important. I mean, Sharon and I have been working together over 10 years. So we started as a junior team together, like out of uni, we pretty much teamed up, and now we're creative directors together. So it's kind of, that's a bit rare. But yeah, a lot of people work really well individually, but I really need someone to bounce off. So it's great for bouncing ideas. If you get stuck, they can sort of pull you out, and vice versa. I've got strengths and Sharon's got different strengths, and we can kind of utilise those and put them together, and it's that old saying, two heads are better than one, right? So. Probably, this is kind of a weird one, but my creative partner and I, Sharon, we do this thing called a walk and a talk. So if we're stuck, we'll just go for a walk around the park for half an hour and talk. And there's something about walking and fresh air, and it just inspires us. I don't know whether it's the fresh air or walking around near people, but it really sort of gets the ideas going. Yeah, the one piece of advice is probably that passion trumps talent. I've taken that from CCO, who's Matt Eastwood from JWT worldwide, and there's a few others that are saying similar things, but the most passionate person is going to be the most talented person in this career. It's sort of one of those cliche things, but practice makes perfect. I was nowhere near the most talented person, but I know I worked the hardest out of my uni days or doing award school. There's really talented people, but they kind of knew they were talented, so they didn't think they had to work as hard. So yeah, it's really, I think the harder you work, the luckier you'll get, particularly in this industry.